This is live from Lincoln Center, the opening night of the 1995-96 New York Philharmonic season. And now let's again go backstage here at Avery Fisher Hall and our host, Hugh Downs.
It's not hard to get lost in Wagner's music. After all, it's a rich brew of characters and myths and melodies, textures and themes. But there's method in all this madness. Wagner invented a new way of composing using leitmotifs, which are musical phrases. Not the kind of phrases like the theme from Jaws. These are more like story elements. For example, a musical theme that doesn't just imitate the sound of crackling logs, but makes you feel the heat and the threat and the magic of fire. In the next half of the concert, Maestro Kurt Masur and the New York Philharmonic will perform Siegfried's funeral music, and Jesse Norman will join them for the great immolation scene from Wagner's Götterdämmerung, the Twilight of the Gods. You could still enjoy it without knowing anything about leitmotifs, but I think you'll find that the more you know, the more beautiful it gets. So, let there be leitmotifs.
It's not a code. It's not something which you have to know in order to interpret properly.
I want you to join the secret squadron and have this secret decoder. I'll send an important secret message, and only secret squadron members who have decoders can decode them.
There's all kinds of motives in music. There's which can be now, that may be considered the same motive or related motives. And there are all kinds of pieces where you get a motive repeated. But a leitmotif is, first of all, something which is associated with a specific thing, a person, a place, an idea. And it's something that recurs not merely as a thematic convenience, but as an integrated part of a plot. Wagner's Ring is one of the most monumental operatic projects ever conceived. 4 operas, 20 hours long, stories of myth and mayhem, death, betrayal, heroism, glory, and ultimately devastation or redemption, depending on how you look at it.
Wagner has chosen this kind of construction of leitmotifs to give each person a special motif. They are pure music. You have not to know what every meaning is.
You know, it's got thousands of characters, people popping out of the woodwork, and he needed a way to integrate it, a way to bring it together. And one of the ways is through leitmotifs. So we have this motive. Now, it's hard to say exactly what it is. If we didn't know it was Siegfried, and we were told it was about making pancakes, we might find other reasons to analyze it. But knowing that it's Siegfried and knowing that it's effective, we have a couple of things. It begins in a major key. It seems to shift to the minor and darken, but then it opens out in a very bright way and with a leap. Siegfried, who was born with free will to save the world, has been killed. And certainly the hope of the gods for a better universe seems to be dashed, at least for the moment. Modern cinema depends, in a way, on a Wagnerian model. Not only the idea of motives associated with particular things, but the kinds of motives that you hear. there's Siegfried and... The idea of associating a thing or a person with a musical idea is something which really comes from Wagner. The hero is killed. The hero eventually dies. How do we mark that? We take this motive and we turn it into a funeral march. It's identified immediately as not just a generic funeral march, not anyone's funeral march, but Siegfried's funeral march. The hero who was supposed to save the world, Siegfried, has been killed. The palace of the gods, which was ultimately built on false promises, is about to collapse. All the people we've come to love are going to die.
This immolation scene is just pointing back to the Old Norse custom of burning the greatest heroes on a pyre. The leitmotif of fire brings us to the end of the world.
The fire percolates, these flames, Logi's flames, these mischievous, powerful, all-embracing flames get louder and louder as we move from here to here to here. And into this fire are inserted all kinds of other motives. We get the motive which has come to be known as redemption through love, and it's over that we get Valhalla itself, as Valhalla is inundated.
We hear the leitmotif of Valhalla, the hall of the gods, come mixing in with the motif of the fires. Valhalla itself is going up in flames. That's really frightening to think of the death of the gods. This immolation scene begins as something horrifying, and we could have been left there. I think that was something Wagner might have done to us, but didn't. The sound of this leitmotif of redemption by love emerging as though up from the depths of these cosmic flowing waters is amazing. You as a listener feel redeemed.
Music brings you back with the feelings, not with the memory.
And these leitmotifs, which recur and percolate and change and alter, is a way to make the audience associate them with a character, with something of importance. And your stake in the material, in the characters, in the plot, in the archetypes beyond gets gradually deeper until, if it's worked for you, the end of Götterdämmerung, of the Twilight of the Gods, which we're going to see, should be really overwhelming.